Hey, what's up everyone? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we are looking at the DC Collectibles Batman the Animated Series Robin figure. I have been really looking forward to seeing this guy in hand for a while now. You guys know, if you've been following my videos or bought these figures yourself, they're both awesome and disappointing at the same time. There are lots of little things that keep them from being really good figures, but they are 6-inch scale animated Batman figures that are for the most part pretty well done. Robin is no exception. They've even improved some things on this guy. There are a few issues, but for the most part I'm pretty happy with him. Let's take a look at the actual figure though. He stands in centimeters, just about 14. And then in inches, we're looking at about 5.5 to the top of his hair. So he's definitely in scale with Batman and everyone else. They all seem to be in scale so far. I can't pull them all out to show you. I will be doing, once we have a sizable amount of these guys out, I'll do a comparative video so you can see them all at the same time and see what they look like up against each other, but I have a feeling it's going to be pretty good. So first accessory he comes with is this little display base, which doesn't have that big goofy piece like this one. We'll look at that in a minute when we look at Joker in his video. But he's got just the standard clip, which does look better. Seems like it'll be more effective, but I probably won't use him anyway. He has the turnaround of the character on there, so that's pretty cool. And then we have an interchangeable cape. This is actually the one that comes on him in the package. This one just droops over, or goes over both shoulders like this. This one droops over the one side. So I just put that one on there. You'll see in the photos at the end what he's actually going to look like with either one, but that's fine. He has the two fist hands that come on him, so that's good. Then we have two open hands. And then each of the hand, each of the hands has the hinge, and then it'll swivel where the peg connects. Be very careful though, that's a tiny peg. Be very, very careful. He has two gripping hands. And he has this, which I guess is a rope with little balls at the end. That's what I'm guessing it's supposed to be, but it doesn't really have any sculpted detail at all. It's kind of a not so great accessory. I'd much rather have had a batarang for him, but that does fit into the gripping hand, so I guess that's okay. I don't know how much anybody's going to actually use that, but it is included. He has the grapnel gun hand all made into one piece, so that's pretty nifty, painted well enough. And then oddly enough, he has another grapnel gun, which he doesn't have a hand for holding it, and it's no different than the one that's sculpted into the hand, so I don't know what he's supposed to do with that. Doesn't have a hand for it or anything, so it's there, but I'm not sure why. But that's it for the accessories. So decent batch of accessories, definitely for the price point, pretty happy about that. As far as the paint goes, everything's pretty good, except my shoulder's kind of chewed up. I'm not sure why it's like that, but it's not a horrible issue. The Robin logo, it's not great, but it's not bad. The face, again, it's not great, but it's not bad. The green parts, mostly painted pretty well. The belt, painted well enough. The only point that's really obviously not the best paint job is right here for his little underwear, but it actually looks pretty good on camera. Not so great in person, it looks like, in comparison, but it's not bad. And then the thing that they improved upon that I'm super happy about is no peg holes for the hips. That detracted so much from Batman and Catwoman. I'm hoping the other Batman with the blue details on the cape doesn't have these either, because that'll just make my day. But very much better looking without those peg holes. Alright, so let's look at the articulation. The head is on a double ball peg, so it can actually move around pretty well. And you just pop that off for the cape swap. So we'll go ahead and just do that now, because why not? So you just swap out the cape. And I know what you're wondering, can he work without the cape? Let's find out, I don't know. Yeah, well enough. I feel like they cut away some of his neck muscles to make the cape fit. But you could probably make it work if you really wanted to not have a cape on there. But I do. So let's put the cape back on. Robin needs his cape. It provides the proper contrast and composition for the character. So there we go. Looks good with the cape. Functionality is fine. Cape is well enough painted, by the way. The only point it's a problem, I almost said the only paint that's a problem, which is also fine, is at the very bottom. This one on the inside you can see a little black coming through, and this one on the outside you can see not enough black. But for the most part, they did a decent job. Shoulder articulation, it's not bad, it's not great. It'll swivel just fine. Excuse me, wow. It'll swivel just fine. That's as much as you're going to get out of the hinge though. Just that one little notch. Which is not great, but it's not bad. It definitely could be better, but it's not horrible. You'll probably be able to pose him well enough. We get an elbow hinge, which also has the bicep swivel built into it. We have a wrist swivel at each glove, which is good, I guess, but we don't really need it because we have a wrist swivel at each wrist. And then the glove swivel, it's not square, so if you rotate it, it bends his arm. So, looks like his arm is broken. It's a little more obvious on this side even. I'm not sure why they even bothered to do that, but it's there. You can just ignore it though, so that's fine. I would suggest you either put it straight back or straight out to the side. Doesn't look too broken in either of those positions. So that should be sufficient. Maybe that's all they intended, which is fine. We have the wrist swivel and the wrist hinge. Waist swivel is under the belt, which will work just fine. Shouldn't have any trouble with that. The hips go that far forward, which is probably good enough. That far back, which is definitely good enough. And then we have, it's still a little awkward looking the way they're designing these hips, the way they hinge out lower than the pelvis itself. So that's a little odd, but it's not horrible, I guess. I mean, once you get imposed, it shouldn't be too bad. It does look a little weird the way they have the red parts on there, but it's definitely not bad. It's just kind of a curious design choice, but it'll do. And now for the knees, still, we need to work on those knees. Come on. That is not that great. Not even 90 degrees. A little bit better than 45. So that's not that great. We could definitely use a thigh swivel also. I think that would help a lot on these guys. We do get a boot swivel or a shin swivel, so that's pretty good if you want one of those. Now for the ankles, we have a nice hinge. I'll do it on this one. We have a really nice hinge all the way back. Pretty far forward. Same thing on both. And technically we have an ankle rocker, but the way the peg is positioned, it's not really that effective. And the way that there's no thigh swivel makes it even less effective. So it's a little strange. You're going to have to rotate the shin in order to make the foot be in the right position. But you can do it, and it can work, so it's not really that big of a deal. It's pretty nice. And definitely one of the better figures from this bunch, so I definitely recommend it, especially if you're a Robin fan or a fan of the first series in particular. You should definitely pick this guy up. I know that's a really basic pose, but I'll pose him here at the end so you can see what he looks like in action. I recommend him 100%, despite the few minor flaws with it. It's a really solid figure, and for the price point, I'm pretty happy with it. I got it from Big Bad Toy Store. They should still be in stock, so check them out. Pick one up for yourself before they sell out. There's a link in the description for that, so do that. Make sure you click the like button, guys, if you like this video. I do appreciate it, and it does help me out, so please do that. And make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see my upcoming figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.